Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to Spectator Behavior. Today I'm going to talk about food on game day, which is the fourth category in my 5-part series. These components for food can be used on day of the concert as well. A lot of times people don't give this much thought and think it'll be easy to pick something up before the game or after the game. However, what they don't take into account are tons of obstacles along the way, such as lines at restaurants all over, differing plans from friends, not wanting to miss any of the game, waiting in line. The list goes on, and there are tons of other things to consider in regards to getting food on game day. Keep in mind, this isn't a one-style-fits-all, and there can be some differences at places you go. But these are helpful tips to help guide you in making better decisions about food on game day. So let's talk about some of these. Number 1. What is your plan before the game? Are you planning on activities beforehand, or tailgating, or just going to the game? If you are just going to the game, then the food situation can be a little easier. You can just decide if you want to eat a big meal beforehand, or if you want to just go to the concession stand at the game. If you don't like to miss any of the game, you should probably go to the concession stand before the game, or you might have to miss some of the game. Now, more of a challenge is staying around the area a little while before or joining a tailgate before the game. Determining food intake before you go to the tailgate, eating during the tailgate, and if you go to the game, eating after the tailgate. Now, if you know the tailgate well, this is fairly easy. You typically know if you need to eat something beforehand and how much food is going to be there. However, you still need to think about it in relation to the game. Not all games are at the same time, and if you forget to eat something when you normally do, and the game time is coming soon, then you have to leave without getting food, and you're in a situation. Or take, for instance, the food runs out quicker than you expected. By the time it's 8:30, you'll be very hungry and have to figure out an audible for food, all because time slipped away and you needed to make that 7 p.m. kickoff. Sure, your tailgate was fun, but at some point, it wasn't as productive with the food consumption as you would have liked it to be. My take on this is, unless you are sure there will be tons of food at the tailgate, eat something before you go, or bring your own food. Even then, have a plan on how to get food in case the grill won't start, or the football being tossed hits the grill and it fumbles the burgers onto the ground. You just never know. Hey, if you're liking this video, give it a thumbs up. Next, let's talk about what type of eater are you. Do you normally eat large quantities of food? Tailgates can either be very good or very bad for this type of eater. You might have a 15-course dream tailgate buffet, or you are hungry to chow down and there is not much food available. Solution: bring some of your own food. If you're not tailgating and just going to the game and getting food, then spend the extra $3 or $4 on something that will fill you up. Look for combo meals so that you don't have to make multiple runs to the concession stand and miss the game. Now, if you are a light eater, then you might be okay with food that's less filling. Next thing to consider are prices of the concession stand. Normally, they are overpriced, and they don't give you enough food. Like I said before, look for food that will give you more quantities of food for a price that is manageable. I've only been to a few concession stands that are reasonably priced. One that comes to mind is Mercedes-Benz in Atlanta. They have reasonable pricing there. Now, number 4. I mentioned this a little earlier, but one that needs to be reiterated. Time of the game. This can affect eating schedules, especially game times like 11 a.m. Central Time or a 7:45 p.m. Eastern ESPN game. These are odd times and need to be considered when dealing with what you are going to eat that day. Last but not least, what is your plan after the game? If you're going home right after and have food available, or going to a restaurant, then you could eat right before the game, which gives you about a 4-hour window before you need to eat again. However, if you and friends are planning on going somewhere to eat, then 50,000 plus at the game might be planning on eating also. A lot of places on game days don't take reservations because demand to eat after the game is so high, especially sports bars and places showing other games on TV. these are normally the first places to fill up. Make sure you have a plan in place of where to go. Don't try to figure it out at the end of the game when everyone is making their way for the exit. That's not a good plan. Also, make sure if you have friends that want to go to a bar and that y'all's plan for the night is to stay there and it doesn't serve food and it's late, you need to take that into consideration and should probably get something at the game. I hope that y'all found this helpful. Question for everyone is, what is your biggest challenge when it comes to food on game day? If you would, just comment below. Also, if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to my page. You can get more free videos. Hit the bell beside it so you can see whenever I post.